take a look at the hand in its entirety, and then we'll go on and I'll make some comments. So we're at 100 no limit here, so blinds are 50 and 1. Vendetta has king, queen of spades in the small blind. The villain in question is the button here, who limps. Vendetta goes ahead and raises to 5 in the small blind, and Banner goes ahead and calls. The flop comes ace 8 4 rainbow. Vendetta makes a pretty standard c-bet of 8 into 11. Banner decides to float, unsurprisingly. The 10 on the turn hits, and Vendetta checks. Banner bets 20 into 27. Vendetta calls, and basically on the river, we have the situation that was described to us where Banner 23 doesn't have many hands that he can be value betting, so Vendetta wants to go ahead and check call. Okay, so I'm going to take this hand back to the beginning, and I'm going to say a couple of things that are really important in the beginning. Okay, so the reader that we have on this player is that he's completely aggressive and insane. So what we need to be doing is we need to essentially be thinking about how we want to take advantage of that. Something that I say to my students a lot of the time is, don't try and make your opponents do something that they don't want to do. Okay, because most people, if they have a tendency that they've exhibited, they're not going to suddenly change that tendency. Okay, so they're not going to, a very passive player is, for example, you have a very tight passive player and you flop a set and you see that he calls. Don't check the turn. Don't try and check raise the turn, okay, because he's probably going to try and check down, his weak top pair or middle pair or whatever. He's not going to suddenly become an aggressive player, so betting the turn there becomes mandatory. Similarly, if you have a very aggressive opponent and a very hypermaniac opponent, don't try and bluff that opponent. You shouldn't ever be trying to get that opponent off a hand, because the bottom line is that he's not at the table to fold to you. Okay, he's not at the table to fold. He wants to bet. He wants to raise. He wants to gamble. So the first step to beating this player is to understand what he's doing and then to respond to that. Okay, so Vendetta, your plan should be effectively to flop a hand and then extract value from it. So I think that your plan for this hand is kind of backwards, because you have king high. You're not trying to hero call this player down, okay, because he is capable, like you said, he is capable of just clicking buttons. No one really knows what he's doing. I don't think he even really knows what he's doing. He's playing 80% of his hands. So no one really knows what this player is doing. So what you want to do in that case is effectively you just need to forego hand reading. I know that sounds kind of weird, but against a player who is completely unpredictable in his aggressive ranges, what you want to do is you effectively want to just make sure that you hit a hand that's strong or towards the middle or the top of your range and then not fold it. Okay, so that's what you're looking for. You're looking to make a hand which is strong and which rates to be good at showdown often enough, and then just basically just try and get to showdown however you can.